I stood dead, watching the guy I trusted the most, who ended up standing on a different side facing me. What should I do? Hello everyone, it's me, Vicky. If you want to know what happened to make Willie change, please click the like and subscribe buttons. Thank you very much. After the last incident, the Miracle of V became more and more popular, and we were forced to hire many more employees to keep up with the cafe's expansion.
Vicky, I don't know how to thank you. Thanks to you, my parents' legacy has grown to something more.
Don't mention it, Will. You also gave me the free life I always wanted.
Mainly because of your miracle, V.
Will, thank you. We thought we would have happiness and freedom from the moment my parents let me go, but life was not like a dream. When we didn't have enough time to enjoy the fun, incidents continued to happen. That day after closing, I was playing Will's favorite song on the piano when suddenly we heard a series of broken glass sounds. Willie and I immediately ran out to see what was going on, and I realized that some of the cafe's windows had been broken by someone throwing rocks. Willie and I went out to the street to take a look and saw on the other side of the sidewalk a group of about 5 to 6 strangers screaming loudly. Before Willie and I could react, they continuously threw rocks at us. Willie hugged me and blocked all those attacks for me. When we stood up again, we could no longer see those guys. Will, are you okay?
I'm fine. Don't worry about me. Good thing you're not harmed.
Let's go inside quickly. Let me see your wound. Because Willie shielded me, he suffered many bruises on his body. It took me all night to apply all the medicine to the wounds on his back. Even though I don't know what's happening to us, right at this moment, I feel lucky to have Willie by my side. But things got worse and worse when those people came again. But this time, not after we closed, but in the morning when we were opening the cafe. Many of our guests were so scared that they had to run away while they were still in the middle of enjoying their coffee. Who can drink coffee while avoiding rocks flying in from outside? For 1 week in a row, we had to endure their harassment. Although every time they come, Willie takes out a broom to chase them away, that is definitely not the solution to our problem. That night, as usual, they came to pester us again, but after they left, we decided to follow them to see who was behind this incident. But all we saw was someone's bodyguard giving the group a bunch of money, and we never saw the real mastermind. I thought about whether this was my father's doing, but I immediately dismissed it. My father may not be a very good father, but he has never been a double dealer. Can anyone target us? The Miracle of V is becoming more and more deserted. Usually on weekends, when there is my piano performance, we usually are very crowded. But this weekend, we didn't have a single guest at all. But we finally had a guest. After sitting for a while listening to my piano, he asked to meet Willie privately. I just stood at the counter and watched them talk. After a while, he stood up, shook Willie's hand, and then turned to me, winked, and left. Willie's expression after that was extremely uncomfortable. He was completely silent with me all day and always sat on the sofa near the window, looking out as if he were thinking about something. That night after closing, Willie and I had a talk, and I really couldn't believe those words came out of Willie's mouth.
Vicky, I have something to discuss with you.
What's going on, Will?
That man this morning. Did you know what he told me?
It must be an unhappy thing, right? You've never been silent with me for such a long time.
Not that bad, Vic. The man's name is Edgar. He offered to buy our cafe at a very high price because he saw that our cafe had great development potential and promised to share the monthly profits with us.
What did you just say? Sell? Will, this is your parents' legacy. Our tireless efforts over the past time. How could you make such a decision?
Such a decision? Miss Vicky, you're the only one living in wealth here. All of this is just because you want to find something new.
Will, you... How could someone like Will be so easily blinded by money? How could he say such things to me? How much money did that guy pay him to make him change so quickly? For the next few days, we didn't say a word to each other. Willie completely treated me like I was invisible in this cafe, which hurt me so much. One day, on the way home, I went to the supermarket to buy some food. I thought that cooking Will some delicious food would help him talk to me again, and I could convince him to think again. As I was walking and thinking, a man approached me. It was the person who came to talk to Willie the other day.
Good day, honey. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Edgar, your future fiancé.
Fiancé? Oh, what are you talking about? Get away from me!
Ah, indeed. You don't know? Because right before I could come see you, you ran away. And what Edgar wants, Edgar takes. FYI.
Without letting me say another word, he pressed me against the wall and tried to violate me. I struggled to try to get away, but he was too strong. I had no choice but to kick him in the crotch to find my way out. When he fell to the ground in pain, I ran as fast as I could. By the time I got back to the cafe, I was about to tell everything to Willie, but then all I got was a cold look followed by a cold turn away from Willie, even when he saw me crying. I couldn't believe that the person who had taken care of me, the person who had panicked even though I only had a small scratch, was standing right in front of me. I completely broke down. I hid in my room and cried until I passed out from exhaustion. When I woke up, it was already midnight. The first person I thought of when I woke up was Willie. I really wanted to go out and beg him to change his mind, but now that was no longer the Willie I knew. This person was blinded by the illusion of riches. Then, I suddenly thought of my mother. I took out the phone to call her, but she didn't pick up. Once again, I fell into panic. I couldn't go home because I still couldn't get over the fear of having to face my father. And now, even Willie, the person I trusted the most, has turned his back on me. I continued to cry in despair and passed out even without realizing it. The sound of laughter outside woke me up the following morning. What I saw when I stepped out scared the living daylights out of me. Edgar was standing beside Willie, and the two of them were laughing and chattering cheerfully.
Morning, my future wife. Are you ready to follow me back to the mansion? Anyway, this place is about to be bought by me, so take your last glance.
That's right, Vicky. Today Edgar is here to see the cafe again and also came to pick you up. You were born in this environment and you'll soon be happy.
Then Edgar walked towards me and it scared me. I had no way to back out anymore. I only had one choice left. I pulled out the small knife I usually use to peel fruit from the counter. If you take one more step, I will risk my life for you.
Come on, honey. Don't be so stubborn. I just want to bring you happiness.
Happiness? I'd rather die. But at that moment of despair, I saw outside the window of the cafe that many black cars were quickly appearing. That was definitely the car of my parents and their bodyguards. Very quickly, my parents' bodyguards filled the cafe. Then my parents walked in. Edgar was very happy to see my parents. He happily approached them and almost completely changed into another person.
Oh, how lucky you two are here. Now help me convince.
But what happened next made me not believe my eyes. Before he could finish his sentence, my father punched him right in the face, causing Edgar to roll on the ground.
You little rat! Who the hell do you think you are? Daring to touch my daughter without my permission?
While my father continued to lecture Edgar, my mother and Willie approached me. Mom wiped my tears and brushed my hair.
Oh, my poor daughter. Everything is fine now.
I hugged my mother and sobbed. Mom and Willie later explained to me that this was all Willie's idea. Willie wanted Edgar to completely believe that he had won, and so he played the evil role in front of me. Because only when Edgar sees me like that will he loosen his defenses and give my parents a chance to intervene. Otherwise, he would have kidnapped me the first time he met me on the street. I just hugged Willie and my mother and cried loudly. A moment later, after Edgar was almost unconscious on the ground, my father walked towards me. I reflexively backed away out of fear.
Vicky, I know I've wronged you a lot. It's just because I thought that what I did would make you happy. From now on, spread your wings. Your mother and I are always here for you.
All the storms have passed when my parents' bodyguards dragged Edgar away. Before leaving, my mother hugged me tightly and placed a kiss on my forehead. Will, it's your turn now. How dare you?
Come on, V. I'm sorry. I'll clean your room's floor for a week, okay?
A week? A month?
Your wish is my command, miss.
My parents have been regular customers of our cafe ever since. Ultimately, they dispatched a second team of bodyguards to make sure I was secure because I refused to take their money.